Are there certain foods that can boost my metabolism?
Yes, absolutely. There are superfoods that can boost your metabolism. I guess in a manner of speaking, all foods will boost your metabolism insofar as you burn this many calories per unit time just existing. Okay? It takes energy to exist. And when you eat, it takes energy to get energy from that food. So every time you eat, every time you have a meal, your metabolic rate does go up a little bit to account for the digesting, absorbing, storage, and even releasing of hormones, etc., of the food. So I guess to answer the question, eating in general raises your metabolic rate because every time you eat, the amount of calories you burn goes up. Now, whether that question comes up insofar as, well, can I eat specific foods where they burn more calories than they contain? Practically speaking, that comes out negative. That comes out as a no from a practical standpoint. That I think people call them calorie negative foods, perhaps. I would say that certain foods have a greater digestive efficiency than others. For instance, fat, depending on the form, but I will just say fat in general, has a very high digestion and absorption efficiency. In other words, it takes very few calories for your body to process and store fat. And then protein goes on the other side of the spectrum where it takes more energy for your body to process that protein. When you eat protein, it takes more calories to get calories out of protein. And when you eat fat, it takes less calories to get the calories out of fat. And if you look at diets in general, in the health and fitness space, they tend to have a far higher protein content than the typical person's diet. And part of that reason, it has many reasons, part of that reason has to do with the amount of calories it takes for your body to process all of that protein. Now, protein has other benefits as well, with satiety, with nitrogen balance, and all sorts of other fancy things. But really, from a practical standpoint, you can take advantage of the digestion and biochemical inefficiency, I suppose you could call it, by having relatively higher protein in your diet.
Would I look better in the mirror if a higher percentage of my calories came from protein than from fat or from carbohydrates?
I would say anecdotally, if your carbohydrate and fat calories went down and your protein calories went up and your overall calorie count stayed the same, that you will probably look better in the mirror than you did before. And for some people, they retain that effect, and for some people, it stays for a shorter amount of time. They have a transient effect. And I would say for a vast majority of time, this effect comes from people lowering foods in their diets that they had before that maybe they had sensitivities to or they had slight allergies to, that basically their body got a little bit irritated when they ate it, and it can change how you look in the mirror, probably in a couple of days. And again, I would attribute that to the changes in the foods that you eat more than raising protein up higher relative to carbohydrate and fat.
If you're picking up what I'm putting down and want to learn more about cognitive nutrition so you can finally live the life you deserve, then learn about my Kickstart program by clicking the link in the description box below.